Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Bedroom Talk. Cool thing tonight. We have 5 people, which is the most we've ever had. Whoa. Setting records.
Achievement unlocked.
I know. On our 3rd episode, we're already breaking records. So, I have a story for us to start with.
We're not going to say who's here?
We could say who's here.
Yeah,
most of us are returning. We have one newbie. We have Justin. He's our new guy on the block. Justin's here. Troy's making a return.
Hello.
Jacob, you're back again.
What's up?
And Dion, you were on last week.
Yes.
Pretty great.
I brought the pizza rolls back, too.
Yeah, and you brought the pizza rolls back, which is 100% the reason why I invited you back on.
Fucking thanks.
Yeah. No,
that's cool.
Okay, so, what's my name going to be this week? I don't know.
David.
What?
David.
All right. Yeah, my name's David. I'm hosting this week, again, as per usual. Okay. So, I have a story. This happened this week. I think it was Tuesday. It was Tuesday or Thursday. And I was walking to Lighting and Sound about 9:45, and I'm walking past a column building in between there and the fountain, and there's a school tour going on. Okay. And right as I'm walking by, the girl who's leading the tour decides to lead all these kids in the Whose House, Coog's House chant.
Oh, God.
And so I just got assaulted by 12-year-olds screaming in my face. So she goes, "Whose house?" And they'll go, "Coog's house!" Like, right at me. I'm like, guys, I live here. I know whose house this is.
It's actually my house.
Yeah, and they're all doing the paw, and they're, like, shoving it in my face. And I just, like, I didn't know what to do, so I just, like, high-fived paws with this one kid. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know what happened, and I just walked to class.
Like one of the days I was walking, I think it was to Lighting and Sound, I think it was Thursday. I was walking to Lighting and Sound, and it must have been like bring your old people to work day, because there was like a train of like
to work?
I don't know, it was in college, I don't know. Like it was a train of like people, I think over 100. Just walking all across campus, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Was it like Grandparents' Day at college?
I don't know.
Do you all remember that from elementary school? Like,
No.
My elementary school, we did this weird thing. Like, we had Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Yeah, I remember
obviously,
those days.
And they would, like, come in, and we'd introduce everyone to our parents, or, like, our mom and our dad. Well, my elementary school had this special day dedicated to grandparents. And your favorite grandparent came in, which, as a kid, is like... Who buys you the most toys?
Yeah.
Really. This is my Mimi. She lives on a farm. She buys me toys every day that I'm there. So I spend every summer there.
That's at least like 90 toys right there.
Dude.
Like, I know that whenever I was in elementary school, we did like a bring your mother to work, or not work, bring your mother to school day. Yeah, child labor laws did not exist.
Going off to the coal mines.
But
doing work in elementary. Keeps you out of the Hunger Games. It's good work.
I guess so. But it was like bring your mother to school day. I almost said work again. It was bring your mother to school
something
day.
You need to share with us?
I know.
Child labor.
Not that I could remember. I don't know. It was bring your mother to work day. Oh, God damn it! What the fuck? Okay, it was bring your mother to school day.
Yeah.
And my mother was not in my life at the time. And so I brought my grandma. And so after that, like, everybody thought that, like, my parents were, like, 70. And they were like, I had classmates coming up to me asking why my parents were so old. And I was like, no, that was my grandma. And they were like, but it's bring your mom to school.
Yeah,
Somebody just said work. Somebody just said bring your mom to work.
So it was me, probably.
And they were like, but she's so old. And I was like, yeah, she's my grandma. And they didn't get it. So I'm pretty sure some of those kids still think I have, like, 90-year-old parents.
Like, Dion, are your parents dead
Yeah,
yet?
like, man, your parents are like 90 at this point. Holy crap.
My Vietnamese friend's oldest brother is 44.
Wow.
Yeah, at 18 or 19, his parents, I think his dad was, like, 76, and his mom was, like, in her 60s.
Yeah, my brother-in-law's dad has been married like 3 times, and so his oldest sister is 44, and his youngest sister is 4.
God damn.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. His oldest sister was actually a one-hit wonder in the 90s. She was in a group. Yeah, there's like a video, and it's on YouTube, and it's a music video, and she's just dancing.
What's the song called?
I don't know. I'd have to text him and ask him.
Is that like Soul Train or something?
Yeah.
I'll ask him. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I had a friend who was 18. No, it was freshman year, and I forget the whole familial thing. But point is, he was a freshman in high school and he was an uncle. It was like a half sister or something, or like a stepsister.
Yeah.
It was a really bizarre like set of circumstances, but he was an uncle in his freshman year of high school.
Oh, that's nothing. I was on when I was a kid. We did this thing called Odyssey at the Mind. It was like theater for kids, except they wrote the script, they made the set and the costumes, and then they directed it.
Okay, cool.
And there was like a spontaneous segment, but anyway, we had these two kids in my group in my kindergarten year. One of them was in my grade, one of them was a year or two older than me. The girl who was a year or two older than me was the niece to the kid who was in my grade.
Wow.
By some weird like genetic setup. I think his sister was like in her 20s and she had a kid at like a young age.
I don't know.
And so like just how she grew up and how he grew up, he was an uncle in kindergarten to a niece in like first grade or second grade.
That's
That's
so weird.
weird.
Yeah.
No, one thing, my friend in high school, his grandparents adopted a kid from like India.
All right.
So she was technically his aunt, even though he was older than her.
Oh,
Like throughout, he's like, "Hey, it's my aunt," and she was like a freshman. It's so weird.
Yeah, there were some people who were like cousins at my elementary school. Like it was a guy who was in my grade, and his cousin was like in the grade below us. And so it was really weird because like, and then like, cause my cousin lives in Austin, and I have another one up in Seattle. So it was like these two are cousins, but they go to school together. What is that?
Male circumcision
At
available
eye
at eye
clinic.
clinic.
Oh God, no, thank you.
And underneath it says bus stop.
We were. Oh,
Speaking of which,
sorry, then we were reading a picture.
yeah, thank you for sharing. Tia.
Did you know that your
Yes.
brothers and sisters technically can be considered zeroth cousins?
I guess in like a weird,
Like no,
twisted
you can be
What?
like your brothers and your sisters
Thank you,
can
dude.
be technically considered zeroth cousins.
Yeah.
Because your cousins are your first cousins, and there's
Yeah.
is it their kids that are second cousins? Yeah, their kids are second cousins.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like the generation levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also like
But your brothers and
your
sisters-
cousin's parents are
Yes.
also your first cousins.
Yes.
Technically.
Are they? I thought that was
What?
your...
No, it's your aunt and uncle.
It's your aunt and
Yeah,
uncle.
That's your aunt and uncle.
Their children
but-
are your cousins.
Hold on.
No,
They're your-
no, not
Oh,
necessarily.
your parents' uncles are your first cousins also.
Really?
I thought that was like great uncle.
Yeah, I thought it was great uncle or great aunt.
I don't know.
Hold on, no. It's
Yeah.
confusing because
Yeah.
hold on. My mom has a cousin, but he's like 50, and he's my
Who
first
is
cousin.
Star
That's what I meant to say. Like your parents' cousins or your first cousins,
Oh,
or your
oh,
second cousins. I mean, I don't know.
I just got
Shit,
like
I
a
don't know.
star 69, like no caller ID.
It happens.
Well, if
We
they
should,
call
we
back,
should
I'm gonna
answer it, put it on speaker.
If
Yeah.
they call back, I'm gonna answer and put on speaker.
Yeah, definitely.
You definitely should do that.
Hey, Ian,
Yes.
what's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear?
Yes, your biggest fear.
Probably wasps, I'd have to say.
Wait, what kind of
Really?
Like-
Explain that.
Like the big wasps?
Yeah,
Or
like,
tiny wasps?
I mean, I just hate things that can fly and sting you.
Do you like bees, though?
I don't mind bees. I wouldn't say I like them. I think they're annoying, but it's like they pollinate flowers and give us honey, so it's fine. So like they're cool, they can say, but wasps are just assholes. Like
They really are.
like them and hornets, they're not like.
Like, what purpose do they actually serve?
I mean,
To be assholes.
yeah,
Well, I mean, like-
they fly around and they use their stingers to impregnate you with pain and suffering. That's
Impregnate.
yeah.
Right.
Okay.
They basically because they're
You broke
shoving
your 9
their, giant prod thing inside of.
There's a hermaphroditic slug in the ocean that when two of them meet together, they have a duel with like their dicks. And if one gets stabbed, it instantly has semen inserted into it, and then it becomes the female.
Wow.
Wow.
You learn
It's-
something
yeah, it's crazy.
new every day.
That's
Don't you just love?
No, it's really
Animal
weird,
Planet?
like how like
That's some
nature
gay-ass shit.
makes.
That's gay.
Yeah.
That's gay.
Yeah. Isn't it weird how like nature will make like hermaphroditic slugs that have to stab each other with their penises, and whoever like wins the dick joust gets to be the male? But like for
I like that term.
yeah,
the
but for
dick
like
joust.
mammals, it's like okay, no, mammals there will be clearly a man and clearly a woman,
Well,
and
like,
they
what
will
if-
okay, so, like,
reproduce
Like imagine if
one
humans
way.
were hermaphrodites and we just had these massive cocks and then we
Yeah,
rode,
like,
just, we
yeah.
rode towards each other in the Middle
Yeah,
Ages
like
on
what if
horses,
humans had to
and
dick
whoever
joust?
wa-
So
Yeah.
yeah, so scenario here.
Yeah.
What if this smoking hot babe walked up to you, right? And you're like, I'll take her on a date.
Yeah.
And you like hit her up. You're like, hey, shawty, what's up? And she says, all right, so here's the deal. I've got a giant ass cock. We're gonna have to sword fight with him. If you win, you can have me for the rest of your life. But if I win, you have to become the woman.
Yeah.
I don't think I would take that chance.
You don't think you would take that
Does that mean
chance?
we both have like male and lady parts, but we still look like men or women, and we're just all
And
transsexual?
like, would I have to
Yeah,
get like
it's
an
like,
operation
if
or
we
something?
had if we had to dick joust, like how would I don't know how one would determine like somebody's attractive or not. Imagine what prison culture would be like. Oh my god.
Like so many babies, you couldn't have prison. Like everyone would have to be locked
Like,
in solitude.
They would be prisons / like orphanages. No, that's not right at all.
No,
like,
they would
prison
have
/ nurseries.
Oh god.
Because if they were orphans, both their parents would be dead.
Think
Also,
about
what
it,
if
like,
you accidentally stabbed yourself with your penis?
What would you become?
That's how black holes
Yeah.
happen. I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, like if we did that and you're like jacking off and then like you like slipped and missed and you like stab your hand, you're like, damn it.
Mom!
Then you
You
have to
got a
go to
sharp
the
ass dick to stab yourself in the hand.
Well,
Yeah, but
we're
like-
assuming we have sharp dicks if we're having to stab
Like
other
sword-
people with
Okay,
sword
okay,
penises.
okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
it's a logical assumption, right?
I'm in logic, so.
Logic. No, was it
Fucking hate that class.
Was it you that was telling me about the lobsters in the ocean, Ian?
Yeah.
About because like you were talking about the creatures in the ocean, and it still just fascinates me that there's probably like somewhere out there because lobsters are biologically immortal. So that somewhere out in the ocean that we still haven't discovered, there's a giant ass lobster like the
Just-
size of like a mountain range,
Just being a lobster.
just doing what he does.
Like at the very depth below the fucking giant squids that they found.
Yeah.
It's like we go down there and we're like turn on the lights and like giant lobster face like
yeah.
so
Like, hey, buddy.
Like that shit from Atlantis.
you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
What if that's what really happened to like the Red October? Like they
Found
just
the
found a
Red-
giant,
found a
found a
giant
giant
lobster.
lobster.
Ate them.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
I think it was aliens. 'Cause everything can be logically explained with aliens.
Aliens.
Shit.
Aliens. Somebody in my English class was talking about Ancient Aliens the other day.
The best show on the planet.
Yeah, and I started thinking of you, Troy. I was like, oh.
Dude, no, that show.
It's good stuff.
I told my dad it was on Netflix, and he was
Yeah.
so happy.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
The first season is,
However, don't watch that shit at night because it puts me to sleep.
dude. It's just that.
Like it's so interesting, but just like the commentary.
just still,
like-
my favorite quote from Ancient Aliens is when Giorgio is like, "I don't think Atlantis sank under the sea. I think Atlantis lifted off." And I was like,
I want
was
like
like-
whatever they're smoking.
I was like, Giorgio.
Flashback to episode 1.
I was like, Giorgio, towed it back.
You can't be dropping mics this fast, bro.
Because he believed that like Atlantis was a giant spaceship. Just
And it just like failed in takeoff and then just crashed into the ocean.
no, it was just like, you know what? We don't like Earth anymore.
He totally just stole that from the newest Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah,
Just saw it. It was like a trend.
Atlantis were the original hipsters. Like, yeah, this is too mainstream.
Yeah.
Earth isn't cool anymore. Not everybody's here. It used to be such a cultural, like, underground thing, but now
No,
all these
everyone's
species,
heard about it. Everyone's doing it.
it's just not cool anymore. And now they're on Mars, and then we're gonna populate Mars, and then Atlantis is gonna be like, oh damn it, they have to fly off to another planet.
Guys, quick question that just hit me the other. You've all seen Interstellar, right?
Yeah.
I have not actually.
Dude, it's so good.
Okay. Well,
Pretty good.
quick plot summary right there. Earth is dead, so they're like, oh no, we've got to go to a new planet.
Yeah.
And they're freaking out about how they're going to get to it. And like this wormhole opens up, so they're going to go to a whole new galaxy. And they're like, a whole bunch of people are dying trying to figure out which planet to go to. And you're so invested in it, right? And then the other day I was like, wait a minute. If they could develop spaceships that would fly through a wormhole to a whole new galaxy, why couldn't they just move to Mars? Because that's like literally a week away.
Well, that's essentially what they do. At the end of it, they're like, yeah, all these planets fucking suck. So
No,
let's
they
just
went to
build
one.
ourselves a colony.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's just it's. I don't know.
I also watched that movie at like 11:30 at night after like a really. It was like Thursday night,
Yeah.
so like the week is over, and I was like just kind of pretty tired and beat. And then I watched Interstellar, and you know Chris Nolan was just throwing like they throw a lot at you.
So
in
you
that
wound
movie.
up crying at the end of the movie just because you were like, oh, there's shit on my
Well,
head.
I was just watching, and like at the end where like you know he wakes up on that planet that's just like a spiral like it's like a tube on the inside. That's where they live. It was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I had no idea.
I don't think it was like this weird tube. It was just like something they built. It was like a space station.
That was that was their spaceship.
Yeah.
The big tunnel you saw in the beginning that hadn't launched off yet, that was that. They just
Wasn't like
sent it up.
Isn't like the planet that's most viable for population in our solar system? Isn't it Venus because it already has an atmosphere and it's filled with CO2?
Yes, but it's too close to the sun, so I'm pretty sure the temperature is too high, and there's like...
Yeah, like the temperature on the planet is too high.
Also, that's because of the CO2. If you found a way to regulate the CO2, hence with plants, it would solve that.
We landed this robot on it, and it fell apart in a matter of minutes just because it was like hurricane winds that were so strong, it literally blew it to bits.
And stuff just like, it's so hot, it just bubbles up and just dies.
You would just need to terraform the planet, really. Which would be really difficult.
I'm just randomly poking in on this conversation and listening to parts of it, and I don't know what the fuck is going on right now.
We got into Interstellar.
Yeah, but I would highly recommend not watching that movie when you're really tired. It's 11:30 at night, because I would have enjoyed it more if I was like more like alert and focused, because there was like a lot of like symbolism that he brought up that I just didn't really understand. Like the whole Lazarus thing, I felt like that was like, there's a motif for a really good part of the movie.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole bit with Matt Damon, and I was like, was the Lazarus thing just so Matt Damon could do his thing? Because after like the Matt Damon bit, there's just like nothing to do with Lazarus anymore. So
Matt Damon.
I also didn't realize it was gonna be that long. Because we all went at 11:30. Like, as a big
well, I
group.
knew it was going to be long because Chris Nolan. That's
I
what
know.
he does.
I just didn't think about it. I was like, it's 11:30. I can go and then be back by like 1 and go to bed. But it was like, nope.
By 1?
Nope.
And, dude, any movie
We'll
you
get
see
back
at
at 4
11:30.
a.m.
Yeah, no, we got back at like 3 or something, or like 2.
Dude, that was a super long movie, but I loved everything.
Yeah, and then we got shitty Jack in the Box tacos afterwards.
Yeah.
You know what movie I'm excited for?
What?
Iron Sky 2.
Iron Sky 2.
I'm so
Yes.
pumped.
That's
Oh my
happening.
god.
Yeah,
Sarah Palin is back as president. And instead of Nazis on the moon, it's Nazis under Antarctica riding dinosaurs.
Oh my
Yeah.
And Sarah Palin has, like, her right hand is, like, dinosaur hand for some reason. It's very confusing.
They'll find some way to explain that.
I'm not
like,
exactly
whenever the
sure what's
Nazis
happening.
came to Earth.
But then
back
again,
in
they
the-
have not let me down before,
Yeah.
and I doubt they'll let me down this time. I'm just...
Yeah, Iron Sky 1 was, like, it's hard to top, but I'm confident that Iron Sky 2 will be
But, like,
better.
that first idea was just so original. How could you...
Yeah, like lunar Nazis.
Lunar Nazis.
Like, how does it get
Antarctic
better than that?
Nazis riding dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's the
only
problem,
way to
because,
top-
like, lunar Nazis is really hard to top. Like, where else do you go?
Yeah, because like, you can't go to, like, a different planet and be like, oh, it's
Yeah.
another rehash of it.
Yeah.
Antarctic Nazis. Yeah, but yeah, whatever. Time out. They're riding dinosaurs.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, maybe like that I can get invested
Yeah,
in. That
it's
I
like,
want to
okay,
see where it goes.
Like, even though where they're coming from is a little lame, they're riding dinosaurs, so that's pretty cool.
I'm
I just
good
hope
with
they
it.
don't Michael Bay us and like, hey, look, there's dinosaurs, and then dinosaurs only appear like the last 15 minutes of the movie. That's like 3 hours long.
Don't
Oh,
even
but
get
yeah,
me.
no, it's
Oh
like
my
that.
God.
And have a 5-minute montage of just Asian people wearing Dolce & Gabbana sunglasses and playing Les Paul guitars while
Yeah.
sipping, like,
some other
some
product
stupid-ass
placement
vodka.
that
They should make it like that old-fashioned cartoon. I don't remember what it's called, but like they rode dinosaurs, and the dinosaurs had like metallic armor
More time?
on them, and it like they could shoot at other things. Like they gave them like futuristic sci-fi armor that could like shoot laser beams and shit, and they had wars on the backs of like Tyrannosaurus Rex and like Stegosaurus. It was sick, man. I used to have toys.
Really familiar, but I do not remember what that is.
I don't know how to accurately like describe how bad I found the latest Transformers movie to be, other than
Dude.
I stopped watching after 3.
I stuck with Michael Bay for 3
Three-
Transformers movies, and I'll say, I don't care what anybody thinks of me. I enjoyed watching those 3 Transformers movies.
Yeah.
They were stupid, but
fucking
to watch giant robots punch each other in the face. It's
Exactly.
awesome.
But the thing,
Same
But
reason why
then-
you watch Pacific Rim.
Yeah, exactly. But then the 4th one, I was like, oh, okay, well, I mean, maybe we're pushing it a little bit, but I mean, it's just fun to watch giant robots beat each other up. But oh my god, it was so long and
Well, the
boring,
thing
and
is-
none of the characters were.
well, the thing
oh
is,
God.
they have the horrible mistake of thinking that we actually care about the humans. We
Yeah.
paid money to watch robots kill each other.
Yeah, that's the
all
whole
I
point.
want to see. I want to see hulking masses of CGI kill one another.
But then we
That's all I
had
want.
Mark Wahlberg with his
Marky Mark.
wanting to be rebellious teenage daughter with her asshole boyfriend I didn't like any of the human characters in that movie. Like,
It was-
I couldn't get on any of their sides.
No.
Like,
'Cause,
I mean,
I hate all of you.
Yeah. It's
There's
like,
nothing I can like about any of those people.
yeah. I
Sounds
mean,
like high school.
oh god.
Sounds like every day.
I mean,
No.
even like Stanley Tucci's character. I mean, it's not that I thought that his acting was bad. I just didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't like the character.
What's like the last good Michael Bay movie? Really, like honestly.
Oh man.
Like I'm trying to think of one.
Okay,
Oh,
well we
yeah,
can
they
rule
did.
them out. Not the latest Transformers movie or TMNT. Those definitely gone.
No,
I
yeah,
didn't
I
even
actually
see
liked.
TMNT.
I actually liked.
Like
the
here, I want to pull up
TMNT
some Michael Bay movies, like ones that.
The only person I didn't like was the guy that played Casey. I didn't like his character. I liked every other bit of it though.
Huh.
Michael.
I don't know.
He did also do the movie Armageddon with the was that Armageddon with the
Yeah,
giant?
Armageddon
yeah.
with Ben Stiller and guy from Die Hard.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce
Bruce
Willis.
Willis.
Thank you. God, like, I knew it started with the
Like,
B.
Die Hard and Bruce Willis are practically synonyms.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah. That's why I said Die Hard. 'Cause
Die
I was
hard,
like,
die hard,
Yeah.
die even harder this
Yeah.
time.
because I couldn't think of Bruce Willis's name. I was like, oh, but he was in Die Hard, so like,
Die
just-
so hard it's metal.
Die Hard or Die Harder. Oh my
He did
God.
Pearl Harbor, 2001 movie.
That was
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
I
Oh, yeah,
liked
that was pretty good.
It was
Yeah.
alright.
I mean, Michael Bay's. I don't know if he's had anything that's like really good, but he's had some like decent stuff that's just kind of enjoyable.
Did y'all ever see Pain and Gain?
Yeah.
It's a
no,
really-
I thought
it's
that
a
was
really good
that was
movie.
a
I
pretty-
really
he
enjoyed that
he
movie.
directed that movie.
Oh, he did Pain Again?
yeah,
that
he
was
did Pain and
pretty
Gain.
Who directed that?
Michael Bay. Like he did that movie.
He's doing Project Almanac, or did Project Almanac.
Oh yeah, I heard about
He
that.
also directed Ouija. Oh no, he was a producer.
Ouija. Did any of you guys see Ouija?
No.
Hell no.
Yeah. Oh no, I thought
So
about it.
I respect
but
myself.
yeah. So,
He was
I am number 4.
when was he an actor?
I am number 4.
Newest Nightmare.
Oh, I Am
Movie.
Number 4 is actually a pretty good
Yeah,
movie.
I
I've
thought-
seen
Well,
that.
it's based on a book.
I want to read
It's
the book.
really
I
good.
haven't read it,
Yeah.
but
It's a whole series.
the movie is
But they
really
only
good.
did
Though.
that in number 4.
I'm on his IMDb, and he was an actor in Transformers, the first one.
He was an actor in the first one.
Yeah, he was uncredited though, but his role is quote unquote guy flicked by Megatron.
He was
Oh,
that guy.
he was that
That's
dude.
the best part.
Dude, I love those kind of directors.
He was that. He
Yeah.
was that guy. Oh my
It's
god.
just short but sweet cameos that make it great. Like Quentin Tarantino puts himself in like all his movies just so he
Right.
can get killed.
M Night
Or just
Shy-
so he can say the N word to black people.
Yeah.
But then there's like M
Yeah,
Night.
he was in Pulp Fiction, but he didn't die in Pulp Fiction.
But then there's like M Night Shyamalan who just like is like, I have to be in every single thing and make myself so important for every single thing.
That poor guy.
Stupid.
Like, he
M.
had
Night
such-
Shyamalan, if you have ever seen the movie Signs,
I
M.
like
Night
that.
Shyamalan directed that movie, and it's a great movie.
It is.
And M. Night Shyamalan
it's
is
an
the
actual
worst
movie.
actor in that whole movie. Because he's the guy, he's the guy that's like, he hit the preacher's wife and killed
Yeah.
her on the road. He's the worst actor in that whole movie. He's terrible. It's just unsettling how bad he is compared to everybody else in that.
It's
I mean,
like as
Joaquin
in-
Phoenix and fucking Mel Gibson and whoever those fucking kids were, they were all great.
Yeah.
And then he just fucking dropped the ball
It's like
on that
the
man. It
better
was terrible.
he got at acting in his movies, the worse his movies got.
I know.
To me, I kind of feel bad for the guy because he had like that one hit movie, like everybody's like, oh my god, what a twist, that was amazing, and then he just spends the rest of his career trying to reproduce like
Like,
that
make it just
level
as
of,
good.
Well, like,
Yeah,
it went
and
all
he
to his
just-
head, and it was
and
just
he
like,
just doesn't get it. I'm like, oh
You saw Devil, right?
yeah, I saw
I
that.
called.
He produced
I-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I called that twist like. The
Oh, I
first
saw
time
Devil.
I saw all the characters. I was like, it's the old woman. It was the
Yeah.
old woman.
I felt really stupid because like it's the same trick they pull in every movie, like where they show you like everybody and like one of them has done it, and you're trying to guess who. It's the same trick. They just like draw attention away from that person and they make you focus on everybody else, and so you're not thinking about that person. That's what they did in Devil. That's what they did in Reservoir Dogs. That's
I know in Devil I thought it was
yeah.
the young girl.
Dude, in Reservoir
I just hated
Dogs,
that bitch from the
actually got
beginning.
me.
though.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
At first, I was like, no.
I
way,
haven't
he's a
seen
fucking
Reservoir
cop.
Dogs.
It's really
oh,
good.
it's so good.
It's
It's my favorite Tarantino film.
I also
That's just
like.
me.
I really like Tim Roth.
Yeah, Tim Roth, he was really good. Really, everybody in that movie was really solid. Harvey Keitel was awesome. Michael Madsen did an awesome job as Mr. Blonde.
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi.
Why I gotta be Mr. Pink?
The guy who played Mr. Blue actually used to be a career criminal.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
he
cool.
actually used to be a career criminal, and he talked about like the first scene in the movie where they're all at the diner and they're like wearing the same thing. Because he's like, actually, that's really bad to do. Because why would you all be out in public wearing the same thing if you're like a group of criminals together? You shouldn't spend time with each other, because then you get to know each other personally. And like, if you're about to commit a heist, like, don't go to a public place wearing the same things that you're gonna heist in. Because then people be like, oh yeah, we saw those guys at the diner.
He was method acting. That's why he joined the career criminals. He got cast and he joined a criminal ring for like a couple months, and then they started filming.
No, because the guy who played Mr. Blue was pretty old. Because like he had been in prison for a while.
Mr. Blue was like, which one was Mr. Blue? He was like the
Mr.
That
Blue
was
wasn't
Mr.
in
White.
the movie very much. The two that you don't see a whole lot of are Mr. Brown, which was
Because
Quentin
that's Quentin
Tarantino,
Tarantino.
and Mr. Blue. Like, you see Mr. Blue like at the diner and when they're like handing out all the names, but that's like really the only times you see him.
Mhm.
I learned this because one night I was supposed to be studying, but instead
That's
I
how it starts.
hopped on IMDb and just looked at all this Reservoir Dogs trivia.
No, I'll tell you who's actually really cool, because we're talking about actors, is that, you've seen the Lord of the Rings series, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sir Christopher Lee,
I'm
who
an
plays Saruman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck you, I haven't seen it.
What?
I haven't seen any of them.
Okay. But okay, so Sir Christopher Lee, who plays Saruman, is like one of the most badass people who's ever lived.
Yeah.
Like, he
He
actually...
played Dracula. He played Sauron.
He played Dracula. He was a Bond villain. He played Sherlock
He was.
and Mycroft Holmes. He was Count Dooku. He recorded a
Right.
heavy metal concept album about Charlemagne.
Wow.
Yeah, he hunted Nazis during World War II and actually knew J.R.R.
Yeah, he's the only
Tolkien
person-
himself. Like Tolkien said to him, "I'll
Yeah.
give you if they make a movie,
You should
can
play
Gandalf."
Gandalf.
But
Yeah.
he was like, "Nah, I don't want to play Gandalf. I'd
Yeah.
rather play this guy." But
I
he's
knew
just-
that. I knew he was the only person to have met.
And he started
Tolkien
started
on the
a
cast.
secret agent unit called the what was it? The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
That's
Yeah.
wow.
Like, how badass is this guy? What
Oh
else?
my God,
He's the
Christopher
Illuminati.
No, he.
I don't. Nah.
Everybody's the Illuminati.
everybody's
we already
the
discovered
Illuminati.
that.
Yeah.
Everybody is. Doesn't matter.
I totally forgot that for Fellowship of the Ring, Ian McKellen got nominated for, I think, Best Actor or Best Supporting Actor.
Did you really?
He got nominated for an Oscar for Gandalf, but he got snubbed by someone else. Somebody else took it.
It's Michael Bay.
It wasn't Michael Bay. I forget.
It's Michael Bay for supporting actor.
Yeah.
That
No, I forget who took it.
Yes, you did.
But
I
yeah.
still wish I could have seen what's his name? He was the original Bond.
Oh, Sean Connery?
Sean
Yeah,
Connery?
Sean Connery was up for the role of Gandalf.
Yeah, but he turned it down because he didn't understand the script. He's like, I don't know what's going on.
I would have loved to see him do that.
I think Ian McKellen's like
Well,
Ian
Ian
McKellen,
he's
McKellen's
just
there.
such a good
And
Gandalf.
and
I
now
can't see
he's
Sean
like,
Connery as.
Like, he's like everyone's image of Gandalf.
Yeah.
Just
I think I've just
He
seen
is the
too
great
much
leader.
of quote unquote Sean Connery on SNL. So I just picture him as bad mouthing Alex Trebek on Jeopardy all the time.
It's like now
That's what your mother said last night, Trebek. Pow!
every time I think of Sean Connery, I think of that like picture on like the internet where it's like it's a billboard for a shingle company, and it's a billboard and it has a whole it's like a roof of shingles, and it's like look to nail hot shingles in your area. It's a picture of Sean Connery at the bottom going hot shingles. I'm just like, God.
That's amazing. Yeah, I was walking around in Austin over the summer, and my friend and I walked past this restaurant, and it had a giant picture of Christopher Walken in the window, and it said "Walken's welcome." Oh, so great.
God.
I heard like something that my friend who's a big movie buff said about like Sean Connery at this awards thing for James Bond. It was like some James Bond anniversary thing, and he went and they were talking about the name Pussy Galore and how it was actually dirty. And he like at this
Really?
at like years later at this like award ceremony, he has this epiphany like on camera and in front of the mic like, oh pussy, that's so vile. And I'm like, how did you not realize it until
I
just
said
now?
shaken, not stirred, Miss Galore. Octopussy, Pussy Galore. I actually have Octopussy on VHS back at home. That's a fact.
That's a fact.
All of you are on
That's
your
a-
phones right now. Wow.
What? I am responding to something because I am being polite.
Yes.
I actually just got really excited because the guy who has my name on Twitter followed me because I kept retweeting his.
That's fantastic.
That's amazing.
Jacob Mangum.
And I'm texting a French girl, okay?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
I remember like when I was like 13 or something, I looked up like other Ian Bakers on Facebook, and they're all like these British guys, which doesn't surprise me because I mean I have a really English name.
The one that always pops up.
Everybody named Dion's black.
Everyone that pops up for Troy Beckman, like the first one is always a State Farm guy in like the middle of like Minnesota, and he looks really
Troy
creepy.
from State Farm instead of Jake from State Farm.
Like he's got these big bug eyes and a weird buzz cut, and he's just like,
It's
it's
just the
creepy.
stereotypical billboard one.
Yep, it's just creepy as all get out.
That's yeah.
He haunts my nightmares.
Does he? Like my name is also
See you in
Troy.
20 years.
Just like, oh god.
I see the things you see. I feel the things you feel.
So my eyes.
What if it's like that, like twin telepathy thing, but with people with that have your name, like they know when something's wrong. Like, oh, like I feel there's
a disturbance in the force.
force.
Oh my
Even
god.
worse yet, if that's what happens, wouldn't they know every time you got an erection?
No.
I don't know.
I would hope not. Like a little
That'd be really
It's
funny.
like the middle
though,
of a
if,
business
like,
meeting. You're just and like you on this
yeah,
other
like
place
male
whacking it.
twins, and like one of them is like getting like really hot and heavy with a girl, and the other one's at like a business meeting. It's like, damn it, now, damn it,
Giving a
Cody.
presentation
Yeah.
and just whoop.
Yeah. Oh come on.
It's like,
just
sorry,
randomly
this
sits
business
down
just
in the
gets me
middle of
going.
And so like he's like at the business meeting trying to calm himself down, and it starts getting him like less erect. But then the other guy starts getting less erect. And he's like, no, I need to stay this way for this girl. And so they're like fighting. Telepathically.
One takes Viagra and just
Yeah.
can't stop.
Eventually he calls him and he's like, dude, I had a really important meeting today. Yeah, well, I had a really important meeting today too, if you know what I mean.
I was jousting.
Oh god. Oh god.
Now, dude, come on.
Did you want me to become a woman for the rest of my life?
Not that
man.
anything's wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's biological, nothing to be ashamed of. Oh, man. Well.
Oh lord.
I'm really excited because after I go to bed tonight, I don't have to wake up at any certain time. All I have to do is be at call at 6:30. It's gonna be amazing.
with you. I don't
Oh,
want to do
dude, I
a
envy
single
you.
thing.
Yeah.
I don't get to do that until like next week.
Well, you get to have all the fun with that
Yeah.
because
Dude, I'm so jealous because Mark has one class on Wednesday and Wednesdays. It's the English class that we both have at 1 o'clock. And so he doesn't come home on Sunday nights now. So on Monday I wake up and I'm just like, oh, I hate Mondays, and I go to class. But then on Wednesdays I have to get up and go to acting. But he's still asleep. And then I'll go to acting, come back, get home from acting at like, past 11.
Yeah.
And he's still in bed. Like, he'll be awake, but he'll just be in bed, like, on his phone and be like, hey, man, what's up? Like, I hate you so much.
it's like, have you moved at all today?
And he's like, no, I haven't moved.
The things I hated like last
Oh,
semester is
man.
like the thing I hated like last semester was like I had to get up at like such early times.
Yeah.
And I think I get Marquis up too. But like now he's always like up 2 hours or like an hour before me. So it's like I use him as an alarm clock.
Me and
Yeah.
Jacob have the same classes every morning, so we get up at the exact same time.
Yeah.
Last
Don't you
semester
have,
was
like-
bad. We would like accidentally set our alarms for the exact same times, and mine is like this just tribal drum beat that
Yeah.
slowly wakes you up, and Dion's just like end of the world alarm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
So we
because
go off
Just
together,
like the
and it's like-
tactical
that's
nuke.
that's
Yeah, that's
all
what
that
Mark
wakes
had.
me. That's all that wakes me up.
Yeah, that's what Mark has.
yeah.
I
So
have a Beatles song playing for me. It's like it's While My Guitar Gently Weeps. So it's like really nice, and then like John Lennon comes in and it's like, oh,
I got
good morning.
I always have Highway to Hell wake
That
me
one
up
fucking
every
wakes me.
morning.
Well, because
Marquis gets so mad and he's like, change it. And I'm like, no.
Well, I had different songs that play on different days. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's Keeping Our Eyes Out by Fits in the Tantrums. I've actually gotten Mark into Fits in the Tantrums. He's
Dude,
like,
they're
what's
great.
that song that plays like for your alarm sometimes? I'm like, oh, it's this
Fits in
one.
the tantrums.
Yeah, it's like, oh, dude, these guys are awesome.
I just don't want to ruin a song, you know? Because
Yeah.
like if I have a song for my
Yeah,
alarm,
no,
I hate
it-
that song.
Yeah, no, like sometimes it'll come up on shuffle and I'll be like I'll like
cringe
twitch
a
and I'm
little
like,
bit.
wait, no, I'm already awake. I can listen to this.
No, it's just like, dude, it scared me the other day. Like I woke up we have class at 9 in the morning for acting.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't have any of my alarms set, but like my body woke me up at like 8:35. I was like, what is happening? I don't understand.
I got really confused because the other morning, like, it was yesterday actually on Thursday because lighting and sound was it was at 10, and Jacob got up and it woke me up whenever he got up, and I looked at the clock, and I was like, okay, it's 7 o'clock. I was like, wait, do I need to get up? And I literally sat there and thought for like 10 minutes. Do I need to get up right now? Or do I get to go back to sleep? And I did the math in my head about 3 times to see how much time I had before class. Yes. I was like, I get to go back to sleep. So I felt like it was nice. It was really nice, but it took me a really long time to figure it out.
That's me like
I would lose track of the days last semester, and so on days when I would wake up.
What day was that?
Yesterday.
That may have been yesterday?
Either yesterday or Tuesday.
It was probably the night that I didn't sleep at all.
Oh, I bet that was it.
Back in and out a couple times.
I bet that was it.
At like 6 and stuff.
Well, like last semester, like I would lose track of the days sometimes, and so like for scenic tech days, like I didn't have to get up as early for acting, and so my alarm would go off at like 8:30 or 9 o'clock, and I'd be like, oh, I'm so late for acting. Wait a second, and I'd be like, what day is it? And I go look at my phone, like, oh, I don't have class until 10. Yes.
I never wake up until 30 minutes before my classes.
There was one day where I woke up 1 minute before my alarm did, and I was still angry because I was like, 1 minute. I could have had one more minute.
Yeah, right? Like, I always get mad whenever it's only a couple minutes before I need to wake up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, it's not worth going back to sleep.
Yeah, but it's like, oh man.
No, I'll tell you what was awful.
Man, that makes me mad.
Okay, you know how my suite mates, like their room is like locked. They like Marquis and our suite mates, they all get up and have class at the same time.
Yeah.
What happened like the first few months of this like semester, what happened was our suite mates had an alarm set for 8 o'clock, but they all had class at 7. So they would like get up and leave before their alarm went off.
Oh,
so
no.
I would already be asleep, and then their alarm would go off in the next room, which I could hear through the walls well enough, believe me.
Those walls are
and I'd be like,
thin.
But it would wake me up though. I'm not late to class. So I mean, they finally turned it off.
Yeah, I can never hear your guys' alarms through the wall. Like, the only alarms I hear go off are mine and Mark's. It was hilarious because Mark usually, like, he'll watch movies for a while, and then he'll get into bed, but he'll be, like, on his phone for a little while. And then he just puts his phone on the fridge right next to his bed. And then when his alarm goes off, he'll pick it up and put it on snooze, and then, like, take it, just, like, bring his arm with his phone into bed with him. So, like, the snooze will go off, and he has that, like, end of the world alarm. So the first time it goes off, it's like, brr, 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 brr. It just does that until he, like, shuts it off or puts it on snooze. And then every time it snoozes, it's just, brr. And he just turns it on snooze. And so, like, every 7 or 8 minutes, brr. And he just snoozes it again. I'm like, Mark, you're going to be late to class. He's like, I'm just so cozy.
That's like the worst too. It's like these beds.
These walls are thin.
They
I
are.
can hear Gavin snoring on the other side of my wall.
I almost wonder like how much
gross.
can you hear
Poor
from
Clayton.
someone on the other side of the room? 'Cause,
Okay,
like,
I put up a sign like, because Gavin has a habit of emptying the toilet paper roll and then leaving it on the roller.
Dude, just go in our bathroom.
But no, he just leaves it there and he doesn't replace it or anything. And so, like, I put up a sign and I was like, don't be what this cleans. Please replace roll if empty.
Yeah.
Smiley face. And he took it down and I
he
know it
wipe
wasn't
his ass?
clean.
What if he wiped his ass with
That's
that
what I
because there was no toilet paper?
But it was like crumpled up in the trash, and I was like, "What the fuck? That was a reasonable request."
Yeah.
Like, you're the one that always empties it, never replaces it. If I empty it, I replace it, and it always gets me because I always go in there when I really have to shit, and I have no time to look. And I start and I look, and I'm like, God damn.
Yeah. Well, what we do in our bathroom is like the toilet paper roll will empty, and somebody will pick up a new one and just put it on top of the old one.
Yeah.
No,
I'm gonna collect all of those.
how many empty rolls are
Leftover.
just on the floor?
Yeah, I'm gonna take them all and I'm gonna pile them up into a modern art sculpture.
Yeah,
titled
I
was gonna
the
say,
shit
yeah,
I
turn
deal
it-
with.
are you
Yeah.
Laurie Anderson?
Yeah,
Basically.
honestly, like
Turn
with
it
how
into a
many, like,
violin.
yeah, we honestly could build a pretty
Didgeridoo.
impressive structure with all those empty
Didgeridoo.
Call it college tuition.
college division. Go Cougs. You spell out UH with all that.
Oh my god. Oh lord.
Yeah.
Hey, if you build a didgeridoo, you can be a part of high school hand jobs.
That is true.
I'm down.
That's our band, High School Hand Jobs.
I'll make one out of
Copyright.
PVC.
Apparently, the other night I was snoring like really, really loudly, and I like woke Mark up, and Mark was like, Ian, but like I was asleep, I didn't hear him, and he was like, I thought you were like choking mucus or something, but no, you're just snoring really, really loudly. He's like, I've never heard you snore like ever, but you snored so loud last night.
Oh, dude, you know what
They
I found
fucking
out?
went to South Beach.
Yeah.
I just got a Snapchat from Gabby.
Me too.
Oh yeah, me too.
Oh, well, you know.
What?
Yeah.
Okay,
no.
so we just got a
I
Snapchat
found
from her.
out last week that Jacob talks in his sleep.
What does he say?
No, not that Jacob. Jacob
Yeah.
West.
Yeah,
No,
Yeah,
I was looking at
like,
him.
I was-
I was looking
I
at
was
him
just
because
like-
I talk in my sleep.
I was laying in bed and I
yeah.
just randomly heard hello. I was like, what? And then he has a bad habit of cussing all the time, and he's like, fuck. Like just randomly in the middle of sleep. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I wonder if does he like roll over and go like, don't worry, it's Friday. And
I feel like eventually that's gonna happen. Like I've heard him mutter the word Friday. Like he convinces
perfect.
himself in his sleep that it's Friday, and that's why he always thinks every day is Friday.
Dion just says like weird, angry things in his sleep.
I really
Like,
do.
the other night he was like, I was barefoot in my bare feet.
I don't know, man. We were my sophomore year of high school. We went to TETA to do our one act play from the previous year for one of the
Like a little mini
like
session.
yeah, like it's like a little mini session to teach people
Yeah.
that want to become adjudicators how to adjudicate, and like they have seasoned adjudicators come in and judge us or whatever. And so one night while we were there, I was sharing a room with my cousin Gonzalo, and apparently I conducted a drug deal in my sleep and then threatened to kill him if he said anything. Because I woke up the next morning and he was just sitting in his bed playing his DS, and I was like, dude, did you sleep last night? And he was like, no. And I was like, why not? And he was like, well, I thought you were gonna kill me. I was like, what are you talking about, man? And he recapped the story. And the crazy part was I was like, yeah, that sounds like something I'd do. But
Totally agree with
I
it.
felt bad for him. I was like,
Yeah.
man, I mean, you can, sleep in the bathroom if you want or something.
Yeah, no, I've done that on vacations because trying to fall asleep in the same room as my dad is like trying to sleep in a room with a lawnmower that
Right?
you can't turn off.
Right?
So I've slept in many a hotel bathrooms just because it's
I
quiet.
wouldn't
I have
Sure,
thrown
sure.
pillows at my dad
Oh yeah,
before.
I'll never change it.
Like, and he doesn't get mad. I'll just like throw a pillow at him, it'll hit him, and he'll roll over.
Yeah.
And he'll stop snoring for like 30 minutes and I have to do it again. However, I've done some pretty weird shit. in my
One
sleep.
time I had
I've
some
really-
friends over spending the night at my house, and one of them fell asleep, and the rest of us were just kind of like up talking, and then he like woke up, like he sort of sat up and opened his eyes and looked at us, but he wasn't really awake because he like sat up, looked at us, and just goes, Charlie Murphy, and just goes back to sleep. And we're like, Steven? And he didn't answer. We're like, what the hell just happened? And then he, about 20 minutes later, he gets up again. He's like, hey, you just get a Warthog and drive down to GameStop. Like, he was
Well,
solving
like-
some problem, but we had to get in a Warthog from Halo and go down to GameStop.
Oh my god.
One
I don't know why.
time, one time, my grandma got really mad at me because my grandma snores really loud. Like our houses are on complete, or our rooms are on complete opposite sides of the house.
Yeah.
But you can still hear.
But I can still hear her snore very loudly, and it keeps me awake. So I started listening to music. Like I have a Bluetooth speaker, and I would listen to music really low, but it was enough to where I couldn't really hear her snore, and I could hear good music, and I could fall asleep to it.
Yeah.
And one morning, she comes storming into my room and kicks my door open. And she's like, could you turn that fucking music off? I can't sleep. And I sat there in awe of the irony of the situation. And I just kind of turned it off, and I was like,
idea.
whatever.
You know, I have never. What?
Have y'all ever like experienced people or like yourselves sleepwalking?
I've experienced people sleepwalking, not
I've
myself.
I've used apparently. I used to sleepwalk in my underwear.
Oh,
Like apparently what I would do is I would go to sleep. I would stand up in my room. I would take all my clothes off besides my underwear, and I would walk around the house.
Interesting.
Well, that
Better
explains
than
why
sleep
Chaka
streaking,
woke
I
up
guess.
without any pants.
I would just walk around the whole house. My parents would be like, Troy, what are you doing? I'm just like, I'm getting some water. And I wouldn't have anything with me. They're like, okay, Troy, go to bed. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm just go back to my room.
There was one
Weirdest
time
thing
when
I've
my
done.
sister was like 6 or 7, and she fell asleep downstairs, and it was like my mom or dad just picked her up and put her in her bed upstairs, and then she slept walk from her bed back downstairs to where she fell asleep.
I'm more comfortable here.
Yeah, no, and then she woke up and she was like, "Wait, where am I?" It was like she was like really freaked out, but then we had to like my parents explained to her like, "Well, we put you upstairs, and I guess you just slept walk back down to the couch or whatever."
Yeah,
She was like, "Oh, okay."
I have woken up making macaroni and cheese.
That's weird.
Like, I cannot explain that one at all. I guess, like, in my sleep, I decided I was really, really hungry. And so I went downstairs at, like, 3:30 in the morning and made myself mac and cheese.
I had this really weird experience one time when I was younger, where like I was having this nightmare that Voldemort was chasing me, and then I woke up from it, or I thought I had woken up from it, but I was still really scared and convinced that he was chasing me. So I was gonna go into my mom's room and be like, "Mom, I'm scared," but I opened my door, and there's like one of those plants from Mario. With the teeth in the
Piranha
hallway.
plants?
A piranha plant.
And I'm like, oh shit, but it was asleep. So I snuck around it. Not to wake it up. And I get into my mom's room and I'm like, Mom, Voldemort's chasing me, but be
Your mom
quiet
is
because there's a
really
Mario
Voldemort.
plant in the hallway. And she went, what are you talking about? And then like I fully woke up and was like, I have no idea.
One time, it was I guess it was sophomore year of high school, and I fell asleep in my world history class because I had finished my assignment. I didn't have anything else to do, so I fell asleep, and then I dreamt that I was at home later that day, and then I remembered, oh crap, there was a really important meeting for theater today, and I thought I had missed it, so I started like freaking out in my dream, and I woke myself up like that, so I like jolted awake, and. Like enough to where other people in my class noticed, because I was like, on my desk, like just like visibly like freaked out, and then I just kind of looked around, I was like, wait a second, all right, I'm still at school, meeting hasn't happened yet, but everybody was like looking at me like, you all right? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. It was really embarrassing.
I've apparently been punched in the face before.
You have?
Yeah, while sleeping.
Huh.
Like, my brother and his friend and I were sleeping at my grandmother's farm in the den.
reminds me
Like,
of a
they were
video I
on
need to show
they
you.
were on the couches and I was sleeping on the ground, like on a pallet setup. And my brother's friend decided that he did not like the pillow he was using. So he felt my pillow and it felt better. So he tried to do that Indiana Jones thing where he like switches it really quick, and like when he lifted up the pillow, apparently my head fell too fast and he went boom and punched me straight in the face. And I sat up and said something like, "You're racist," because he was black, and then went back to sleep with the pillow that he gave me.
That's really funny. Like my mom, she would wake me up every morning because I never got up with my alarm when I was in grade school, and so she would come into my room and say, "Hey, what do you want for lunch?" But some mornings I was like so tired because I would have been up late the previous night, like doing homework or whatever. And like sometimes I would just like say things to her that made no sense. Like she'd come in my room like, "Ian, what do you want for lunch?" And I would tell her how beautiful Captain America's shield was. That's the only one I can remember that. I don't remember saying any of these things to her, but that's the only one I remember her saying that I told her. Like, what do you want for lunch? Captain America is such a pretty shield. Really,
You don't
I
understand.
You gotta love that freedom.
yeah, I gotta love that freedom. I do remember sometimes, like, I would just be sitting up in my bed. My mom, like, she would be looking at me. Like, she would obviously just ask me a question. Be like, what was the question? Crap. So I'd be sitting there thinking, like, I don't know what to answer. And then she'd be like, what do you want for lunch? Oh, right, yeah. Oh, she got so fed up
You're
with me
lucky,
during that.
man.
No,
I
like-
never had lunch made for me. It was like, "Do you want to take your lunch today?" "Yeah." "Make it yourself."
No, I'll tell you, like, the worst thing is that, like, I'll have conversations with my mom or my dad in the morning
Yeah.
when I'm, like, half asleep, and I don't remember any of them. I was just like, I asked you what you wanted for lunch today, and I was like, what did I say? He was like, we don't really know. You just said yes. I'm not sure what that meant. I was like, apparently this would be like, hey, Troy, what do you want for breakfast? Yes. Do you want pancakes? I don't know. But you want breakfast? Yes. Like,
Troy, do you want pancakes or waffles? Yes.
Like, I'll say shit like that. And it won't make any sense, but I'll just say it, and I won't remember anything.
Yeah, we went to Denny's after we struck Spamalot, and by this time it was like 3 a.m. And by the time like he got to around ordering for all of us, because there was like 30 of us there, so it was probably like closer to 4 by the time the guy took my order. And so I put my order in, and there were eggs that came with it, and he asked me how I wanted my eggs cooked. But I thought he said, do you want your eggs cooked? So I just said, yes. And my girlfriend, she was like, no, he asked you, how do you want your eggs cooked? I was like, oh, crap. Because, like, he started laughing at me. He said, how do you want your eggs cooked? Yes. And he started laughing. I was like, what the fuck? Why are you laughing at me? Why would I not want my eggs cooked?
He probably
Yeah.
thought you were just high as fuck.
Yeah, no, he was...
Dude, most people
I mean,
go
it
to
is
Denny's
funny.
at 3 a.m. are.
Yeah, usually are. So it's like, I don't blame him for laughing, because that's funny.
How you like your eggs?
Yeah, how would you like your eggs cooked?
Fertilized.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know. Dude, what time is it?
It is...
It's 2:01.
We got about 10 minutes left before we can wrap up in the next
so
10 minutes
tired.
here. Yeah,
I am
I'm
tired.
pretty beat too. I got up at noon and I'm tired.
I got
I got up at like 10.
I got up at 7 and I'm tired.
I'm still trying to figure out when
Well,
I
you
need
got
to
up
get
at...
up tomorrow.
It's understandable. You got up at 7. Of course,
Yeah.
you'd be tired at 2 in the morning.
But hey, I'm gonna sleep for more than 12 hours tomorrow.
Why'd you
so-
get up at 7?
What?
Who got up at 7?
I did.
Oh, why?
I had a Romeo and Juliet thingy rehearsal crap. I
Oh,
didn't wanna go
Romeo, Romeo.
Fuck that
Wherefore art
show.
thou Romeo?
do- Fuck that show.
At least you get to listen to one of the Romeo monologues.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I
On
would.
this show.
I would like to play Romeo.
It's. I'm not gonna
I
go into the
wouldn't.
character. It's an awful character. I think.
I mean,
it's just
no duh. I just. I
'cause he
feel like I
isn't-
can actually make it.
It's because the thing is he doesn't really love Juliet, which is really stupid. Because if you actually go into depth about it, he doesn't love her Juliet at all. But anyway,
He just wants to pee.
eh.
I feel like I would play one of the fathers if I was in that show.
If I was gonna be in Romeo and Juliet, I'd want to be
Mercutio is the
Mercutio.
the best show in the entire role.
The best
The
show
best-
in the entire show.
The best role in the entire
Good
show.
It really is,
morning.
though.
No, I'll tell you a really funny.
None of us can fucking talk right
No,
now.
I have a really funny story actually. I was playing with my
bring
friends.
your mother to work
school
day.
No, I was with my friends and we were going through a riddle one of my other friends had made, and it was about numbers and prime or whatever. And for some reason, it hit me. I just screamed. Instead of 9 is prime, I screamed prime is 9 at like the top of my lungs. Like everyone right in their face is like, prime is 9. Just looked at me, and started dying.
But 9 isn't a
Best
prime number.
story.
Exactly. That's the
ever.
second thing about it. It's like
Like,
one.
A, your sentence is backwards. B,
It's wrong.
Yeah,
I was like,
Nine
I'm
is-
gonna go sit in the corner and die. Bye, everybody.
7 is a prime number though, so you're
Yes,
close.
So is 13.
Yeah, 13's a prime number. I'm not gonna look about the fuck
They're
that.
fucking- I
17.
remember this like weird ass math game that my mom used to play with me. Or like you got, it was weird because it was like Monopoly, where you got money depending on like how.
You guys
like,
alright?
how you built numbers.
This
What's
weird
going on?
ass. He used to play this weird ass math game with my mom.
What a bird.
Shut up, guys! Why is so good?
I want to hear about this math game. Go on.
Okay, basically, like there was like 6
How many
dice,
dicks
and
did
you
mommy
rolled them,
suck
and you
today?
used like a series of like different. How many dicks is a prime number?
Prime is 9.
7 would be prime dick number.
The prime dick number?
Yeah, prime.
7
Is that like
dicks.
the max?
Seven.
Is that the prime number to stick in you, or is that just
No,
the
that's
prime
just
number
a
to-
like if you have
You
7
can
dicks.
fit 7 dicks in you. You deserve a trophy.
Yeah. No, but like 7.
Probably put that in there too to take it home.
No, that's like 7.
It's like
Yeah.
up the anus cavity.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, like
Anus
7
cavity?
dicks.
Yep.
Anal cavity?
That
No, the
amount of
anus
dicks
cavity
is
is
a prime
different.
number.
Shut
So
up, Troy.
you know it's a prime dick number.
Anyway, this
Number of
game
dicks.
was like you would roll like 6 dice, and you'd use a series of like
This is
different
such
math
a
techniques.
PG-13 podcast.
Math techniques to like build a number, and depending on like what level on the game board it was, you got so much money, and you got like double points for prime numbers. It's not even like on
Yeah.
like I feel like
Yeah, I feel like we ruined your story.
I feel like
Sorry,
it was one
Justin.
of those things where you tell us how the game works, and it's like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. But you told me how the game works, and I was like, that's still fucking nerdy.
Well,
that didn't get any better at any
no, it
point.
didn't.
Yeah, well, we kept interrupting his story.
But you
with
were young. You
prime
were young,
dick
so I'm sure it was
numbers, so-
fun.
Yeah,
were
it was
young.
fun when I was like 6.
You were a young
Because
lad.
it's easy to trick a kid into thinking
Yeah.
pretty much anything is fun when they're that young. Like, like I used to literally go outside, and my older brother would trick me into sticking my hand in ant piles. And I would do it, and then I'd be like, "Oh, why did I do that? I'm so stupid. I'll never do this again." And then I'd fucking do it again the next time.
I got tricked into vacuuming.
I'm sorry, but that's just like a really awful thing to
I used
say.
to get tricked into vacuuming. Like, have you seen that Calvin and Hobbes comic where
That's an
he's
awful
like,
sentence to say. You could trick a kid into thinking anything is fun. It's kind of rapey.
Oh yeah,
I'm
that is a
sorry.
little-
Not saying anything about you, Dion. It's just that sounded just
Now
bad.
I'm thinking about South Park. Like, I'm looking for some
God.
semen. You're gonna have to suck it out of a tube. Just close your eyes. Have you seen that episode?
I don't.
I haven't
Yeah.
watched a whole lot of South Park, but my favorite episode is when there's that like virus going around the town where like it makes like blood come out of your anus, and like Cartman thinks he get like
Chipotle.
no, he thinks he's getting his period, and he's like I get my period because I am mature, and then Kenny got infected with the disease, so he thinks he's getting his period, and everyone except for Stan gets their period. Well, gets the disease, and they all like, oh, we all got our periods because we're mature, we're grown up. And Stan's like, why am I not getting my period?
Did you guys?
But it was also like happening at the turn of the century, so it was from 1999 to 2000, and then God comes down into the quiet town of South Park, and they're like, it is the turn of the millennia, so I will answer one question, whatever it is. I will answer it for you. And then Stan goes, why am I not getting my period? And then he goes, because you're a boy. And he leaves. That was the one question humanity got to ask.
Have you guys ever seen the episode of South Park where they reverse the digestive system?
Yes, and they
No.
like stick.
Stick food in their
up
ass and
their
then shit out
ass.
their mouths.
God.
And they have like.
And it's
trash-
terrible because they have what's that bitch's name? The one that used to cook on TV and then she got arrested. And
The Martha's.
Martha
Martha
Stewart.
Stewart.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so they have Martha Stewart making a chicken, right? So she like bastes this chicken and like fucking cooks it and stuff. Then she takes out the oven, sets it on the ground, standing up, and fucking sits on it and absorbs it with her ass. And then she's like, and then it's like they sound like they're throwing up, and then they open their mouth, and a turd just slides out.
Oh.
I think my favorite.
It's the nastiest fucking episode. And then they have another one where they like Stan's family like moves to San Francisco, and everybody there,
Oh, yeah, I
everybody in
remember
San
that
Francisco
shit.
farts and then smells their farts.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious.
I think my
And then,
favorite
like-
South Park episode is the one where it's like the hippies.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the
Yeah,
mob
yeah,
of
yeah.
hippies.
Or the one where
comes and
Cartman
just-
gets AIDS.
Have any of you guys seen the documentary 6 Days to Air?
No.
No.
Okay, well, it's about like South Park and their like whole creative
Oh, yeah,
process.
I've heard about it.
And it follows them through the first episode they made after they produced Book of Mormon, which was the human centipede.
Oh my
where-
god.
Yeah, but it takes you through like their whole like writing process and like their production thing because they make the entire episode in 6 days, and like they bring the episode to like Comedy Central the day it's supposed to air. Like they'll bring it into them at like 7 in the morning, and it airs at whatever
9 at
time
night.
that night. And I mean, it's really funny because like they have cameras in the writers' room, and it takes them a little while to get adjusted because like the writers' room at South Park is like a sacred place that like only the writers go into, and occasionally like an assistant gets to go in, like very rarely. And you can see like how uncomfortable they all are because the cameras are looking at them, they're just kind of looking around at each other. But then the more
They're
they
all
get
secretly
into it,
tripping on acid.
oh, it's just hilarious just seeing the whole process, and it's a really good documentary. If you ever find it, I highly recommend it because it's really great. You get to hear from a lot of
I've
people.
heard about it. I've always wanted to see it.
I got really sad whenever they took South Park off of Netflix because I was starting to go do the whole like I'm gonna go back and watch all of the shows that my brother watched when I was young and I wasn't allowed to watch. And it started with Family Guy, and then it went into Futurama, and then I watched a little bit of South Park, and then I got caught up in The Office. And so I watched all seasons of The Office, and then I was like, all right, got to get back to South Park. And I went to go back, and it was gone, and a little piece of my heart just broke off and shattered.
Yeah, that sucks.
I laid down on the floor in a fetal position when I found out they took it off.
It really made, because there was like over 200 episodes on Netflix.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
a
had
lot.
like 13 seasons.
Yeah, it's been going for.
I wish The
10 years.
Simpsons was on Netflix.
Right.
That'd be nice. That
That'd be-
Simpsons,
Well, I think
Simpsons
it-
is in
it
like
has
its
to do-
27th season right
Yeah,
now
well,
or
I
something?
think it's since the
Maybe it's
Simpsons,
more.
like they own their own creative license, like they're not owned by Fox, which is why they make fun of Fox so much because
Yeah.
they can. So it's probably because of that why they're not on Netflix. But
It'd just be really nice because I love The Simpsons.
yeah, Simpsons
so
is
much.
so great. I prefer early South Park episodes to some of the later ones because early South Park was just like a raunchier Simpsons. Like it was social commentary just from the point of view of like 4 8-year-olds who say bad words because they don't know what they mean. But
At this point, they've learned.
yeah, but at this point it's like, oh, okay. I mean, the South Park movie was pretty funny too. And I mean, South Park, I mean, I'm still going to watch it, when I can. But I don't know.
I've seen the agnostic episode.
Why is your background Mr. T?
It's Mr. T holding a tea kettle. Yes. So instead of Mr. T, it's Mr. T.
Oh,
Yeah.
TEA.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, we're at an hour right now, so we can probably wrap up the show. 'Cause it's 2 in the morning. I know we're all-
We've just been randomly talking about shit for
But,
an
yeah,
hour.
it was a fun spur of the moment
Congratulations,
sort of deal.
guys.
So yeah, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for being on tonight. Dion, thank you again for bringing pizza rolls.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Have a good night or whenever you listen to this, and don't get mauled by bears. Bye bye.